Hey, what's going on? DelVecchio here from websiteprofitcourse.com. I know you've heard this before. You can earn a passive income online with just the internet and your laptop or a phone. You know, that is technically true, but I think that the people that try and sell you on that, for the most part, they're liars. You know, you get those ads where people are driving around in their Lamborghini or in their vacation home. They try and sell you the dream, and I'm here to tell you that dream is a long way off out in the distance. I want to talk about the reality of passive income because most people give up way too soon where they're not even close to the point of earning that money online. And most people try and go the lazy route where they don't want to work with other people one-on-one or put in the effort to find out what actually brings them passive income. So let's talk about that today. I first became interested in websites and blogging back in college. I launched a handful of blogs because the first thing that I wanted to do was go after passive income. I mean, I think everybody makes the mistake of trying to go after the shortcut approach. And now, after going through it, failing a bunch of times, I view making money online not as passive income, but as indirect income that can scale. And we'll go through that in the next slide. But true passive income in the form of advertising, where you put in $1 and you make $2 out, and you can scale that, regardless of whether you're spending $100, $1,000. That's really rare. Nowadays I see so many people complaining about the ad systems, Facebook, Google. They're all changing so fast that this type of push button solution just doesn't exist. And really the same is true for free sources of traffic like Google, Facebook, or Instagram. They can go through an algorithm shift and they can wipe you out. And that's happened to me on a few occasions as well. I'll link up an article here that I wrote where I was getting a ton of traffic for a blog post I wrote on the iPad, and Google smacked me, and I lost my traffic basically overnight. Getting to the point where you can reliably count on thousands and thousands of visitors, that's going to take months or years, and that involves a ton of investment, upfront investment in making your website, creating content regularly. You're going to need to write or record a sales pitch. You got to get people to buy, and then you have to test as much as you can to optimize. Now, do you think you can do all of that in 3 to 6 months? A lot of people try and sell you on that, and it is possible, but it's not likely, especially if you're not heavily involved in the online world to begin with. If you're just jumping in, or you're an observer but you don't have much hands-on experience, you have to be more realistic with your timeline. And online business is much less of a direct sales process. So the flow chart that I have here kind of just shows you that you have to provide value through content, whether that's written content on social media, videos, and all these platforms have data. So if you have a website, you're going to look at your analytics. Each social media platform has their own analytics. YouTube has YouTube Studio where you can look at your information. Facebook pages shows you the demographics of the people that like your page and your engagement and all that kind of stuff. You basically have to do this over and over again to make better decisions. And through that content, and you build trust with them, and eventually, either through selling something directly or indirectly, you make money. I think the best plan is not to go for passive income right away through a blog. The better way to make money fast is to opt for one-on-one freelance work. There's a lot of businesses out there that are making money and just don't implement these online skills. If you learn one or two of them and get pretty good at it, above average, you're way more likely to make a big chunk of money, whereas the online income usually comes in small increments and you have to build it over time and let it compound. And then, of course, by doing one-on-one work, you're going to get to know the person on the other end. You're going to build relationships with them. And there's really no telling what that kind of return on investment might be. My first clients that I did work for turned into monthly recurring revenue, and they've been with me for about 10 years now. But frankly, by doing the one-on-one work, you're going to have a better idea of how to approach your communication when you write a blog and try and make money online. And there is a standard business ladder that most people ascend along the path. The highest point is that passive income where you can, sit on the beach and have a margarita or a beer and enjoy yourself and look at your email and see deposits going into your bank. But, you got to start realistically. And the first step that most people do is freelancing with hourly work. They set their hourly rate. You figure out a service that you can offer. You start pitching that service. You provide time to the client and you bill them for that, and they give you money back. It's just having a conversation with somebody one-on-one and seeing if you can help them. you get to a point where you realize you're getting better and you're getting more experience. So instead of just continuously raising your hourly rate, I think the better option is to do value-based pricing. And it's the same thing here, but just instead of charging for time, you're charging for value. And all along, my end goal was to get back to the passive income. I started to, go after that at the beginning before I was doing freelancing work. I realized that I wasn't making money fast enough, and I got into the freelancing, and it was great because you get to learn new skills and get paid at the same time. I mean, so much of what I apply today on my blog, I learned through doing client work. By doing client work, I've dealt with maybe 10 to 12 different hosting companies, domain providers. I just have a much better understanding of how everything on the web works. I've learned the promotion side, I've learned SEO, copywriting. All of this can be done by getting paid if you're smart about it and you're willing to do that one-on-one kind of work in the interim before you hit those big goals. And here's where I think I differ the most from people who are running YouTube ads on online marketing, digital agencies, affiliate marketing, and they're just pushing this dream that you can make so much money fast and quit your job. That's going to kill your growth. Slow growth is the way to have it stick. A big part of just achieving your goals is perseverance. I mean, you have to stick around for a long time and work through a lot of really minor, small problems one by one. I've hit so many roadblocks along the way, but like I said, I've always had this goal in mind to get to the highest step in the ladder of that passive income. I've been willing to sludge through the client work, go through bad clients, get rejected tons of times, failure, have haters send me messages, that kind of thing. I've done all of that. I would say like my positive comments compared to the negative comments, it's literally maybe 99 to 1 or like 98 to 2. Those 1 or 2 negative comments will stick in your brain and the positive ones will just roll off your back. That's just the way that we're wired. So you got to have that laser focus on what you want, what your vision is. For me, that vision is a lifestyle business. It's not to create, a $100 million company with employees. It's to make money from living my life and like doing the hobbies that I enjoy. I want to make money from that. And personally, I think that makes the selling side a lot easier. And I've never been fixated on the finances. My goal is time. I want to control my time so I can learn what I want, do what I want. Now, the flip side of this is I'm not, on vacation all the time. I usually do work every day. I generally try and get at least an hour or 2 of productive work 7 days a week. I don't like taking full days off that often because I'm really big on creating the habits that are going to stick with me long term. This is another reason I'm into slow growth. I think it's better to set the bar low. Working out is the perfect example. Most people, they try and motivate themselves by buying a Peloton or a gym membership. They want to go hard 2 or 3 days a week, but the habits don't stick because they're not doing it frequently enough. So I did the complete opposite where I got into working out by setting my bar at 15 push-ups. And I told myself, if I can't spend 20 or 30 seconds to do these 15 push-ups, what am I doing? And I basically shamed myself into doing it, and it worked. So I think you need to do the same thing with blogging or freelancing. Set your bar at sending 2 cold emails a day, or maybe 5, something that you're willing to do. Don't sit there for 5 hours and send out 1,000. You're not going to be able to sustain that. And again, the reality is this could take you 6 months, 12 months. It could take you 12 years. It doesn't matter because we all have different obligations and circumstances. We all have different levels of knowledge when we're starting. And going back to the working out, I went through probably about an 18-month period where I completely shifted my focus from finances just to my health. My sleep patterns were messed up, my diet was messed up, and I wasn't working out at all. I put all of my focus onto that. My finances, I kind of plateaued during that period. I had the recurring income, so I had stability, but I wasn't going after growing my income in that phase, and that was a long-term investment. Today, I'm much healthier. I have more energy. I have a way better routine. So there's so much that goes into this process, even outside of the online skills. The last bullet point here, maybe it's a little morbid, but I think it's important to note that the people who win are those who have the attitude of, I'm going to either succeed with my goal or I'm going to die. One of those 2 things is going to come first, but failing or giving up isn't an option. I'm telling you, that is exactly how I felt with passive income. The biggest part is that mental decision saying, I'm going to do this or I'm going to die trying, as 50 Cent once said. So that's all I got for this video. Obviously, you can tell that all three of these business models fascinate me. I think online business is the highest level that gives you the most flexibility. However, I recommend that you jump in with freelancing if you want to make money quick and pursue a blog on the side to add skills, even if you don't get that immediate work. And really, that's the fastest method to build a portfolio. You don't need somebody else's permission to build your first website. Build your blog and use that as your own portfolio. So regardless of which avenue you take, I have some help here for you. My first income came from local freelance clients, small businesses where I would design and manage their online presence. If you'd like to get a cheat sheet of the 15 tools that you can use to start your web design business, go to websiteprofitcourse.com. I'll link that up here in the top right. And if you'd rather pursue a blog, create your personal WordPress website, I broke down all the steps that you need to take that'll get you completely set up in 14 days. You'll have a framework for success that I've used to make over $50,000 from my blog and my YouTube channel. Check out 14dayblog.com. I'll link that here in the top right. And both of these links will also be in the description below, along with some other stuff that'll help you out. Last but not least, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any experience trying to go for the passive income, I'd love to hear your story below, because everybody has more failure stories than success stories. You really have to go through those failures to get to the successes. As I said before, perseverance is what's going to get you there. And it helps to know that other people are going after it. I know in my personal network, nobody is going after the online passive income. Everybody has a regular job, and they sort of push you to go that route because they don't see this as a real option. I've had the complete opposite mindset. As soon as I saw it was possible to make money online and for yourself, that's been my goal since right out of college. Thanks a lot for watching, and make sure you get started today.